Hello again and thanks for joining. So I'm actually really looking forward to opening up this model. I've not opened it since I got it, and I did get it with a whole bunch of other models as a job lot. And what a wonderful colour combination this is. This is number 4366 in the Fleischmann range. It isn't a brand new model, it's second hand obviously to me, but it's also Fleischmann obviously haven't done HO stuff for quite some time now. But without further ado, let's get this open and we'll check it out. So we've got a small instruction leaflet with this model, and it shows that you can actually pick up from overhead as well if you want. It's a 2-rail normally. It's got some servicing details here like lubrication, and you can see it has also got some lights as well. And on the back it talks about Fleischmann's little stud underneath. It's not 3-rail, it actually operates line side accessories, and there's some more cleaning instructions here. And here is the model. Now, often I say I'm not biased and I'm impartial in my reviews, but I think I'm actually going to be a bit biased on this one because there's a lot going for it. I love electric locomotives. I love the colour scheme on this one. I love how rare it is. I've never seen one of these before, and I also love old Fleischmann stuff. So I'm probably going to be quite enthusiastic about this, but let's get a closer look and see what we've got here. So it is a great colour scheme on this locomotive, but one of the things I've noticed already is it has these little wing mirrors hanging out the side, and the two on this side have both been bashed down a little bit. That's obviously going to be a problem. They're very delicate, and it's a plastic body on this model, so that's always going to be a bit of an issue. This is a second-hand model, but it does look really clean. At the front here, we've got flush fit glazing with some windscreen wipers moulded into the plastic, and we have this nice stripe arrangement with the logo in the middle. There is a bit of a problem here on the corners. I think it's been joined together, and also you can see that with the stripe down the bottom. It's a different size on the front than it is on the sides. But you know, I can forgive that, I think. We've got the numbers down here, 1091, which is another transfer in the black area. And then we've got a buffer beam with some buffers at the front. These have actually got a little bit of rust on them, which obviously means that these are made of metal. We have the usual Fleischmann coupling hanging at the front, which does have a bit of articulation on it. And this part down here is still part of the main moulding, but it's been painted in red, the little snowplow there, which has got some detail on it. Looks as though we might have lighting here as well. These are very fine and small, but it looks as though they could light up. I'm not sure if it's going to happen on the top here as well, but it might do. And you can see that this is a different colour as well, in the kind of dark blue colour. And up here we have a horn added on, which is an extra piece, and that's been done in silver. Looking down the side, it's mostly black and orange. We've got some transfers of writing here and numbers, which are really fine. Very difficult to see with the naked eye, but they do look as though they've been applied very well. And we have the number in the middle, the 1091, which is very clear as well. The steps coming down have little white parts on the two steps here, and this part down here is what looks like an extra piece. It's on the chassis. And we also have this part here, which is pretending to be part of the bogie, but actually isn't. The door up here is pretty well defined, and it has some very fine little handrails there, which is part of the main moulding, but look pretty good. And we've got ridges all the way down the side of the body. We've got these little portal windows, which are again flush fit and very clear. There's no engine detail inside here, but we do have a little bit of cab detail, which hopefully you can see inside there in the grey. Moving down the locomotive, the door at this end is closer to the window, and this window is smaller than the other end, and it does have a silver surround, again with a bashed in wing mirror there, unfortunately. This end's the same as the first end, so we'll have a look on the top. We've got two pantographs here and a metal wire between the two, which is held into these plastic insulators, and this other part here, which is an extra piece that's been added in. The pantographs are nicely sprung and are made of metal and they're very chrome. We did see in the instructions that you could pick up from overhead, but this particular model, even though it's second-hand, it doesn't look as though it's ever had that happen. So looking down at the bogies, we've got a bit of detail here with the axle boxes and brake gear. I have to say it's not the best moulding I've ever seen, and obviously it's split between this part here, which is static, and this part which moves. So that's a bit of a strange setup. We've got some nicely moulded tanks in the middle here, which is an extra piece that's added in, and you can see under here we've got a screw that holds the model together, and also this red part, which I think swaps between overhead or rail pickup. Quite an open frame on this bogie. This is the one that picks up, obviously, and we've got the little stud there for the accessories. You can see some wires inside of this model. And this end is driven. You can see that we have two gear wheels here, and all these have traction tyres on it. So it must pick up from only one bogie and drive the other. It's a bit strange for a Fleischmann model. It's often that they're all-wheel pickup and all-wheel drive. Fleischmann printed in the middle, bit of checkerboard there, and also made in Germany. So I'm going to undo this screw and we'll have a look at the mechanism. So that was a bit hairy-scary getting that off. I had to unclip at each end of the locomotive and it needed a bit of pulling in order to get that off.
That's what she said. Don't you dare.
But we got there eventually and didn't manage to break anything, so that's good. Underneath the body you can see the contact strip with the two pantographs joined together, and we have a driver's compartment at one end, but we don't at the other. I guess that's where the motor is. But we do have provision for lighting at both ends, which is good. And here is the chassis, so the black part is actually made of metal. We have a little bit of a circuit board in the middle with the contact for the pantographs here, and we have these light bulbs sitting proud at each end. The motor is a simple pancake type motor, and we have simple gearing on this side as well. All seems to work okay though. So I guess we need to put this on the test track and see if it'll work. Okay, we're all back together and here we are on some Hornby third radius track. As usual, I'm using my H&M controller on 12 volts DC to give it some power, so let's see what happens. Well, no problems there. It actually runs really well and very smooth. It does seem to be pretty highly geared. Maybe this is an express locomotive in real life and they've geared it that way. But once you give it a bit of power, it just goes really quick straight away. The lighting only works at one end. The other end, I think the bulb is blown. But aside from that, we've got no problems at all with this model. Anyway, let's put this on the scales and we'll see how much it weighs. So this model weighs 307 grams. So Fleischmann's Rc2 electric locomotive. When I first saw this, I immediately fell in love with it. I thought it was an amazing colour scheme and I thought it would be a fantastic model. But now that I've used it a little bit and checked out the inside of the model, I'm actually not quite so sure. There's no denying that the colour scheme is absolutely fantastic. I love the orange colour, it's so eye-catching and the stripes on it look really good. But they haven't been done really well, especially on the corners at the side of the cab. The plastic moulding is pretty good, it's got a lot of nice detail. I like the flush fit glazing and the windows are very clear, but we only have an interior at one end of the locomotive because of the motor at the other, and those wing mirrors are just absolutely prone to getting bashed and knocked off, so they probably should have been done in metal. The pantographs on the roof I think possibly are a bit overscale and possibly a bit crude. But there's no denying that the motor runs really well. It's a very smooth runner and very quiet. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. I'm not 100% sure about it. It kind of feels as though this model has been made a little bit cheap. It's not the oldest of Fleischmann models ever. The box gives it away as being one of the last releases they did before they ended up just doing N scale. So possibly this has been done to a budget. However, it is a really appealing model. I think I've probably got to sort out those buffers. They're not meant to be rusty, and that'll improve the looks at the front of the locomotive. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, lots to like, but it's maybe not the best Fleischmann model ever. But what do you think about this model? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. I'll put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around. And in a moment, another video will appear. So just click on that and I'll see you there. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. See ya.
So model train, model world, choo choo, model train, tiny in tiny world, choo choo, model